What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's gonna be a short video, maybe. In the background, you're gonna have a time lapse of me drawing this piece that I did a while back. This is pretty much just to showcase that, and then I'll just talk in the background. Yeah, I just want to share my experience with something. So, starting off when I was trying to do art, I've been creating art since I was like a little kid, like most artists. I didn't really have art classes in school. Only in high school, I had like a beginner art class where they just teach you the fundamentals, but like terminology and stuff like that. So I never had like a really in-depth art program. I didn't really go to any like classes outside of school. I didn't go to college. So most of what I've done is self-taught and YouTube and Google. So I have a lot of experience in kind of understanding and learning things on my own. So when you see someone online that asks easy questions that you can just Google, kind of not frustrating, but like disappointing that they didn't put in the effort to find the answers themselves to easy questions. So it's kind of like, why not just try to Google, try to get the answers, and if you can't, ask somebody. I'm sure someone out there is not afraid to, offer some help. But don't resort to asking everybody every time you have just a slight inconvenience and not understanding something. Take some time, do the research yourself, play around in the programs or the tools that you use, and try to get a better grasp on what the problem is and trying to find an answer. A lot of the time I see something, I'm like, how do I create that myself? I try to deconstruct it, look at it, watch videos. A lot of videos on YouTube show you how to do different techniques, and you can apply those techniques to different things that you're trying to do. I've learned a lot of things on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. And then I see someone else do something that's slightly different. I was like, maybe I can use the technique I just learned from that YouTube video and try to recreate what they just did. Or you just go on Google, search up, how do I create this effect? Or it's kind of hard with Google because you got to kind of understand the terminology that you're trying to use so that you can get the right search results. That's one thing I would probably try to seek help on. A lot of videos on YouTube go over the terminology of the programs that you use. I used to watch a lot of like Photoshop or Illustrator tool videos where they just go over all the tools, and then I would use the terminology from those videos and just look up on Google. It's like, how do I use the pen tool? What is what is this effect, and how do I create this effect with this tool? If that makes any sense. I don't know if that came across. Like in my head, it's like making sense, but when it comes out of my mouth, it's like kind of random. But yeah, just put in the effort. If you keep running into the same roadblock, ask for help. Once you learn something, don't be stingy with that knowledge. If someone is having the same problem and you see that they're having that problem, help them out. Share some of your knowledge. We can all grow and become better artists at the end of the day. I think the thing about doing it yourself, it's like a mental thing. You start to approach the way you create art differently versus someone that always asks for help. They don't understand how to do things themselves. They always feel like they feel entitled to answers from more experienced people. It's like teach a man how to fish, he can feed himself for the rest of his life, versus someone that you just give them the fish they eat for one day. I didn't even say that right, but I know I didn't say it right. But yeah, learn to do things yourself. You become a better artist for it. Okay, so I'll just share one of my experiences where I applied the knowledge I have already, and then a little bit of research and just studying what I'm trying to learn. And it's with one artist I've seen so far do it is Swoop Nebula, and he is selling this effect where you can have like this effect on text where it's editable, you can change the fonts and stuff, and the filter still applies to the text. And the way I go about doing that is kind of destructive to the text because I outline the text, so it's non-editable anymore, and you can't change the font. So I wanted to figure out how he does his. So instead of asking him, I'm sure I could have asked him. Maybe he would have told me. I don't think so. But I went into Illustrator, tried to apply the knowledge I already have, mess around with the tools. I just do a lot of playing around with the program until I get something where I feel like, oh yeah, this makes sense. So yeah, I'd be in the shower trying to figure out how do I apply this stroke but have it be behind the fill, and then how do I also add a drop shadow to that that's solid and it's not fuzzy and it's not separate from the text. It's like expanding the text backwards, so it's 3D. I spent a lot of time in Illustrator, and I think I came to a acceptable result. It's not quite how I remember his being, but it's kind of cool. It's my own thing. I came to it with my own knowledge, and I like it. It's cool. Yeah, I just became more knowledgeable on the program now. I feel more confident in creating different styles and different pieces just because I try to do it myself. I gained a lot of knowledge just Googling things and finding different pieces of art that use the technique that I'm trying to learn. Yeah, a lot of knowledge out there. All you got to do is just look for it. If you do come to a hard stop, ask somebody, but don't expect an answer. Don't feel entitled to have an answer from someone that has more knowledge than you. It's their choice if they want to share. And if they don't share, you just got to figure it out yourself. It's just come up with your own way of doing things. Like my way before doing the text editing effect was sufficient. I just wanted to figure out, how do I do a different style? How do I come at it? How do I approach it differently? Because there's no right and wrong way to approach something. You just do it your own way, and it's the way you do it is gonna be special and probably have a lot of benefits for something else that you want to do. You can apply those techniques to something else. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, is a little topic that's been on my mind lately. Yeah, if you like the video, subscribe. More videos coming soon.